Jam Room Podcast. My name is Sam.
I'm Illia.
We're here.
You're gonna do
that.
that.
We've been working on that intro. It's a work in progress. Welcome back. We're in beautiful Columbia, South Carolina, at the Jam Room recording studio, with our friends from the Third Floor Band. Why don't y'all welcome first of all?
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Why don't y'all go one by one, introduce yourself, say what you play, say how long you've been in the band, that kind of thing.
All right, I'll start. I'm Nick. I'm the drummer, and I've been in the band since it started.
I'm Neil. I'm the bassist. I've also been in the band since we started 2.5 years ago now.
I'm Ryan. I play guitar and sing, and I have been in the band since it started.
Carter, what about you?
Get a load of this guy.
I'm Carter. I play lead guitar, and I joined, I think, in May of this last year. So it's been almost, maybe 8-9 months that I've been with these guys.
Nice. Very cool. Well, thanks for joining us today. Why don't y'all tell us a little bit about the story behind the name Third Floor Band, as well as just kind of the story of the band's formation?
Cool. Who wants to take this one?
When the band was getting together, it was these two guys and our former drummer Logan, who were looking for a bassist and someone to play bass. They could form a band, get something together freshman year in Capstone, and they were looking for people, and I hadn't really played much bass in my life at that point. And Nick goes, "Man, I'd be willing to sit down with someone for an hour today to teach him how to play bass." I go, "I'll do it." And I picked it up pretty quickly, and we had our first show. We were filtering through a lot of different names, and the Third Floor is actually a filler name. We very much intended on changing it after our first battle of the bands, but it stuck. We never found anything else in it. Grew on us a lot, and stuck with it.
And here we are.
Yeah, Here we are. And y'all are still Third Floor 2.5 years later. Yep. How about that? Did y'all live on the third floor? Did I miss that? Okay.
We lived on the third floor of Capstone.
Excellent. At USC, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Nice. Very cool.
Go Cox.
Yeah, well, I don't.
Go Cox, Sam.
Yep.
You're outnumbered here.
Not gonna talk about that. What's it like writing songs as a 4-piece band? What's that process like?
Pretty much non-existent.
Okay.
No, we don't have that many writing sessions together, really. We do a lot of arranging together. Like it'll either me or Nick usually will bring in a song to be put together, and we will just kind of write individual instrumental pieces to it and just kind of arrange it together. But it's been really, really cohesive, especially since Carter joined the band. He's got a real natural gift for this kind of stuff. I can't. Yeah.
I try.
Wow. I can't tell if you're being sarcastic right now. I'm not gonna.
No, totally serious.
Yeah, we love Carter. Great guitarist over here for sure. Shout out Carter. Thanks for being here, Carter.
Woo! Thank you, Carter.
Carter.
Yeah.
Cool. And you guys do all your own mixing and mastering as well, right? As Nick, right? It's you?
Yep.
What's that process like?
I've got a home studio set up. It's nothing too fancy. It's just an 8-track interface and a couple 2-input interfaces all linked together, and I've got a snake running out the window upstairs into the control room, and so we just get all the mics hooked up. I've got the drum mics and get these guys to come over and just play until we think we've got a good take, and then we go check it out. It's how everybody records, but
sure.
Yeah, and then usually we'll record in a day, and then I'll have Ryan come back on another day and lay down vocals, and Carter come back and lay down solos and stuff.
Nice.
And then I'll do all the mixing and mastering on my own, and we get it out there. Yeah.
Cool. What's so I know that's like a big. I feel like that's a fairly recent thing. Last 15 years, people have really built out the home studio thing and kind of learned how to mix and master their own music, as opposed to the traditional approach of coming to a space like this here at the Jam Room, where you get everything professionally mixed and mastered. What are some advantages and disadvantages of doing it all yourself?
Well, I mean, obviously, I strive to make great recordings, but nothing is going to sound good as it would in this room with this equipment and these microphones. There's really no substitute for that unless you build up your arsenal and have that many microphones and all these amps and everything that Jam Room has. But I mean, it's possible. I always tell people, when I'm talking about recording music, and this is something that I've heard from other people. I didn't come up with this, but it's about the performance. It's not really about the gear. If we get a good take of a song and it's a good song, that's good music.
Yeah.
And
Definitely.
If I got to do a little extra work for mixing because it's not as nice as it would be in here,
Sure.
that's all right. And it turns out all right. And
Yeah.
I like our music. So.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
So what advice would you give someone? You're welcome, Ryan. Yeah. Man, you really threw me off there. What? What advice would you give somebody that wants to learn how to like mix and master their own music and kind of build out a home recording setup like that?
I would say work with what you've got. Like, if you have any sort of recording equipment, start working with that. Like, there's if you just have a one input interface and a laptop, you can get some recording software.
Sure.
And whether that's a free one or a demo or something, but it's not as hard as people think it is to get into. It's definitely pricey to start building up that arsenal. Microphones are pretty expensive, and the interfaces and obviously instruments, all of the equipment is expensive. But
yeah,
I would say work with what you got and just create.
Yeah,
yeah,
I love that, and I feel like it's definitely one of those things that's like learned by doing a lot more than like learned by just textbook reading. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. Get out there and just do it.
Yeah.
Hook the stuff up, and you might have to spend $100, $200 to get the stuff to be able to record, actually record, but it's possible.
Yeah,
do it.
That's cool.
That's what I'd say.
So y'all have 9 songs out? How many? What's 5 songs.
Close though.
Okay. Yeah. I was counting Marlboro Blues as 2 songs. So.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
I guess it does have that 2 songs.
It's not that.
It's got a very distinct 2 songs.
It's 8 minutes long, so yeah.
2 song vibe. Yeah. It's really 8 minutes long.
No, it's not.
It's 5 minutes, but close.
It's a really long song.
The live version is about 8 to 10.
Yeah.
Live version usually goes on longer.
Once we split into 2 different songs.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, for sure. I would love to hear some stories behind a couple of the songs y'all have written, whichever song you want to talk about. I'd love to hear like the story behind it, the inspiration, that kind of thing.
Oh, cool. Which song?
Oh, Josie.
Oh, I should address Josie.
She talks so much.
I've gotten a lot of questions. Is Josie like who's Josie? Is this like an actual experience? It's a fictional story. Obviously, like in every fiction story, there are elements of reality in it. But like I've never known anybody named Josie. The song's called Josie because it was the only name I didn't know anybody of. Really, I'd never met a Josie before in my life. And now since writing it, I've met a few. But that's kind of ruined the whole vibe. But it's still it's a breakup song from somebody's perspective, and it's it's kind of a harsh song a little bit. So it seems like it comes from a place of hate, but it was really just the way that the story unfolded.
Yeah.
Man,
place of disliking more.
Disliking, yeah.
Strong disliking.
Strong dislike. Sorry, hate.
Sure.
We can't say hate.
Yeah, I think you can say hate.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I don't make the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do.
I do actually make the rules. That's a great point.
Oh, shucks.
What about Marlboro Blues? Where did that come from?
I feel like Marlboro was just like we were all kind of doing a blues thing. Like
we were on our blues
We were
era.
on like a blues kick.
We were in
like,
our blues era.
I mean, I love playing the blues. Like I think that's what really made me get like seriously into the guitar. Was like getting really into blues music, and I felt like there was a period of our kind of playing together where we were all just like we just wanted to do blues stuff, and a song like that, like everybody can kind of go off on that kind of song. Like,
sure, yeah.
Ryan's got the harmonica and like a lot of cool vocal stuff with the blues. Like obviously I can have a lot of fun with blues songs. Neil has a great bass line, like the bass.
Bring your harmonica.
He's
drumming.
got a small one.
That's a harmonica. That's cool. Man.
But like blues, like you can really just have so much fun with blues songs. It's a simple song. I mean, it's the same chords the whole time. It's a 12-bar. Like, there's nothing crazy about it, but I feel like we just wanted to.
You can just say it sucks.
We just wanted to get
Great
bluesy,
job, Ryan.
and it came together pretty easily. So
when I like in terms of writing the lyrics for that, I remember it was we used to live at Green Crossing, shout out, in Columbia.
There's a lot of color themes here.
Yeah, a lot of color themes. But I remember I was listening to "Call Me the Breeze," not by John Mayer, but the John Mayer version a lot, and I was like, man, that's so cool. I should write a blues song, and then wrote that just like the first verse and the chorus, and
Sure.
kind of ran with it, and it was cool to get like the whole band going. First time we played it was over the summer when we all congregated back to Columbia to play a few shows, and that was a hit that week. People really liked it. So
That was such a cool few days.
yeah, that was fun.
That was a lot of fun.
It's like 5 days, 4 gigs.
I think we had 4 straight.
Four
maybe
gigs
we
in
had
4 days, yeah.
Yeah, 4 straight
That
shows.
was 4.
Yeah.
That was fun. That was kind of my first that was my real entry into gigging, honestly.
Yeah.
Man, that's cool. Yeah, that's interesting because, obviously, yeah, it has the 12-bar form, but it's just one of those things where, a genre has a form that everyone uses and then writes their own lyrics and their own stuff over. But songs like Josie are, all of your own riffs, all of your own chords and stuff. And also it's like a very different kind of structure of a song. So I'd love for y'all to talk about like how like different songs translate differently live and like what you kind of hope to use each song for in like a live show, if that makes sense.
Cool.
That's a great question, Sam.
Thanks, I wrote it myself.
I would say there is such a vast difference between our not that big a difference, but there's definitely a difference between our video or our recorded stuff and our live stuff. A lot of times the live versions go on longer as will happen, and we sort of build it up a lot more, and a lot of the stuff becomes a lot heavier and rockier because that's, at least in a high energy environment, that's kind of what we're going for. But I would say especially with Rum and Coke, Rum and Coke is one of those songs that is like probably our most high energy song when we play it live, but it's not all that crazy on the recorded version.
Yeah, sometimes when we play it live, we like where the recording ends at the end and it kind of trails off and gets quiet and it's just you and the guitar. Sometimes I start building it back.
If I hear him hit those toms, like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, and then we'll go back into another solo.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling. Yeah. I love adding like different dynamic sections and songs like that live, like just kind of changing up the structure. That kind of thing. That's really fun.
I do feel like you guys really are fantastic at that too, of having this like roller coaster of energy as you play through the song. That's something I've noticed is very consistent through your live sets, which is pretty cool.
Thank you.
It's really
so
I feel like sometimes that's just totally like unplanned. Some of that
for sure.
Like we'll do kind of like maybe a fake-ish ending or like a slowdown and then Nick, like brings it back up again and now we're high energy. Like it's pretty like improvised, but I like that we do that because it feels like we really move up and down a lot. I don't know. I like that.
Yeah, cool. And also as a drummer, like I get to decide when the song ends. So
this is true.
I'm always watching these guys. Like if they're turning around, they're like, let's end it. We'll end the song. But sometimes I'll slow it down and we'll go into another section and just slow the same chord progression down, and then I'll slow it down again.
Yeah.
And then I'll slow it down again.
Yeah.
And these guys
cool.
are just
I really
like,
do
what
like
are we
that.
gonna...
I've definitely learned to like always have an eye on Nick to know what's coming next, to know if I should
look in his eyes,
calm it down or go crazy with him or whatever.
Yeah, we do
jam
a lot.
Yeah, like we had a 4-hour gig last Saturday, and we were worried. We're like, oh, do we have enough music? Like, there's no way we're going to be able to. We figured we'd be able to kind of stretch it out for 4 hours. We ended with like 20 songs to spare.
We could
like
play
15.
We just did a bunch of
Yeah.
jams.
But
Where
yeah,
was
we
that?
only took 2
This
breaks.
past Saturday.
Where'd y'all play?
It was a
Jake's.
Okay.
So the one of the
What
frat,
house? Man.
one of the
So
frat
big.
rental things.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Pike. Shout out.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I've also
Dad's
I've,
weekend.
Dad's weekend.
Love dads.
yeah. I've also heard that specifically like the jam band style performance like translates really well, especially to like fraternity private parties like that, like I used to play with Stranger Company like a good bit, and the frat dudes would just like eat that jam stuff up.
Oh yeah.
Which is fun because that's like one of the most fun genres to play live, and then having a good audience, like that, it's a really like special experience for sure.
We had someone at Breakers who just wanted us to jam, and it wasn't our band, so we didn't have any say over that. But he was holding up his phone for the longest time, like, just jam.
Yeah, that's
awesome.
Great, dude.
Definitely got so much like like Taylor Swift or like Kings of Leon, like the Snapchat.
Oh yeah.
Right.
But seeing one that just
the one guy was just like, just jam. I was like, man, I will.
It is really refreshing to see how many people genuinely enjoy live music in this city, because I feel like this is one of those cities where that's kind of the environment that people are looking for.
Definitely.
And it's kind of rare.
Yeah, Columbia, it's interesting. I feel like for the size of the city of Columbia, like the music scene is really like I don't know, like it's very vibrant. You know, there's a lot of different kind of music. Yeah,
There's all sorts
robust.
of-
That's a great
Robust,
word.
yeah,
Good
thanks.
word.
Good word, man.
Yeah.
It was the what's it called? The dictionary word of the day.
Oh.
So I had
Man.
to use it.
Amazing.
Totally
That's
wasn't.
crazy.
I mean, you
kidding.
literally, Sam, you moved here to
I
do
did.
music.
Yeah, I was in a different city in upstate South Carolina, and I graduated. And I was like, I know there's a weirdly good scene in Columbia. I got connections.
I appreciate you not using the name.
I
of
won't.
city.
The C
Yeah,
word.
I don't want to.
We
Yeah.
don't. We don't use that.
I don't want to alienate any of our audience. You know,
Yeah.
Mhm.
any of our local Columbia and USC
Yeah.
audience.
How does it compare though, Sam? Is
to the
To the C
Northwestern
word.
city
Place
of-
up
in
north.
South
yeah,
Carolina?
the other spot.
Yeah.
Much
There-
better music scene down here.
Yeah.
the music scene in that specific little college town in northwestern South Carolina is pretty. Love the city, love the school that's associated with that college town. But the music scene's like non-existent up there, man. It's
Really?
like there's not much. There's like a couple of country artists up there that would play here and there, but like for the most part, yeah, like not much. So I had a band in college, Laundry Dog. Shout out Laundry Dog. Kind
Great
of like
band
y'all's
name.
thing. Oh yeah, it's a
Great
good band
band
name.
That is good.
We're actually tracking here in a couple weeks, which is gonna be fun.
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Mhm.
we're tracking 2 songs after we
No
wrote them
way.
like 4 years ago.
No
and
way.
we played
Awesome.
together for
Oh,
like
that's
7
cool.
months.
That's so
Yeah,
fun.
I'm pretty excited about that.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yeah, that'll be releasing on all platforms eventually.
It's our favorite
Our
song.
song's Bluebirds and Jalapa, which I don't know if you know the exit on the way to Greenville. That's like Jalapa Road.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
song about that.
Jalapa Road, Jalapa.
Oh,
Exactly.
I've seen
Yes.
Yeah.
that,
So we wrote a whole like southern rock song. Anyways, but we found that like and like we had like I was proud of what we did, but like man, we like our sound equipment was like terrible back in those days. Like we didn't have like anybody that knew how to mix anything. It was just like very like raw like DIY kind of like cover band, and like we always crushed like every bar because there's just like none of that in that part of the state pretty much. Ironically, because you have like bands like Need to Breathe kind of from that area and like really amazing artists like Marcus King from Greenville. But yeah, Columbia's got a way better scene for sure, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's cool.
I feel like it's only going to get better because like New Brooklyn is in 5 points now.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Such a win.
That's like
Huge.
that could like
Such a win.
change the culture of like USC's nightlife. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
that's pretty exciting.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
I'm really looking forward to that. Cool.
Are you worried about your reputation now that you've released the information that you went to that?
I didn't say what school I went to.
Yeah,
I-
I guess so. Yeah.
It's just
for all-
implied.
A certain school.
It's a certain school in northwestern South Carolina.
Something that genuinely shocked me, actually, we're talking about Columbia music scene. There's a good friend of ours, Manny Fellner, one of the best guitarists I know.
Oh yeah, love
He's
Manny.
been all over the country with his band, and he came back after this like whole country tour, and he came back after one of the open mics. I think it was at the old New Brooklyn. He was talking to us, and he said that like the best music that the city that he wants to play music in after going all around the country is Columbia, South Carolina.
I believe it.
And that actually that really made me think because he's seen everything. They went to California, they went to
Yep.
Chicago and Philly and Nashville, and like he's been all over the place. He's maybe the like best or one of the best guitarists I know. He came back and he said he wants to stay here.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know. That
Yeah.
was pretty powerful to me.
And he's
But-
from Myrtle Beach, which is like
Yeah.
as a huge live music scene down there, like with all the bars and stuff and
Yeah.
vacationers and that kind of thing.
A very different live music scene
That's
though,
true.
than
Very
what we
much-
have here.
Yeah, more like entertainment focused. I feel like instead of just the like music focused.
Yeah.
No offense to Myrtle Beach people, I mean that in the best possible way.
Like I said, yeah, just a different
Different
scene.
variety.
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah, that's cool. What's one piece of music gear that each of y'all could not live without?
My
Ooh,
bass,
That's a
probably.
good one.
Okay, well Neil's gone.
Man, I don't know. I'm trying to think. The digital mixer that we got
Nice.
is
Oh, it's pretty sweet.
really handy. It's really
great.
nice.
It's helped a lot.
Especially because sometimes we're doing DIY stuff like you're talking about, and we don't have a sound guy, and so I just plug in my headphone monitors into the mixer and can kind of mix from behind the drum kit.
Sure.
Better than
Yeah.
nothing. But
Definitely.
I'd say that mixer for sure. That thing's
Yeah.
been a game changer for our live shows.
Definitely.
My real answer is my cab because for the first 6 to 8 months of us being a band, I used this pretty small rumble amp
Rumble
Oh,
25.
that we would mic
That's
up
tough.
Man.
That's
and
tough.
play through the PAs, and it would like make the PAs not sound good at
Sure.
all. And
That's tough.
went through months of that, and things definitely changed a lot for the better once I actually got myself an amp.
So you would lose your bass, or you would lose your amp over your bass? Wait, or you lose your bass over your amp?
I don't know, man.
How are you
just
how are
answer
you
the question, man?
How are you
I'm
gonna
just answering the question?
How are you gonna
You're
play?
overthinking.
What are you gonna play through the amp?
Well, nothing, I guess, it off my
You got
bass.
two basses. You got two
Oh
basses.
yeah, I can bring back the Taj.
Oh my god! Tell them about the Taj.
It's a bass. It's just an off-brand.
No.
I'm not trying to roast like the brand.
Yeah, wait, yeah.
It's just it got memed on for being like.
I don't mind roasting the brand. It was a pretty terrible bass.
Oh man.
Yeah,
That's a shame. You liked
it
it
was
when you
fun.
bought it.
Oh, I loved it. It was a great first bass.
Needed a setup. I feel like it lived most of its life in desperate need of a
Oh
good
yeah.
setup. From my
It was
memory.
really
Yeah.
bad for a while.
Yeah.
But-
Well, Ryan, what's your music gear choice? What can you not live without?
Probably my little harmonica right here.
Oh,
The
yeah.
harmonica
Just the
necklace?
little one?
God, I could
That
live
thing
without
makes the
that. I would sleep so much better.
No, I couldn't live without my acoustic guitar that I've had for.
Nice.
I started playing on a beat up old Ibanez and got a Washburn within probably like a year after I started playing, and I've been used it to write every song I've ever written.
Nice.
Almost every song I've ever written, but that's like my go-to. It's
It's a really good.
It's a part
It's
of
a
me.
awesome
It's a
guitar.
part of me.
Yeah.
There's definitely something to like older beat up guitars, especially like when you have like a really strong emotional connection.
Mhm.
Like, there's just like songs in the instrument, you know?
Yeah.
Like there's certain guitars I picked up, like I just immediately pick it up and there's like a riff that comes out and I'm like, I know, like I don't know where that came from, but it's like in the
Got
guitar,
magic
you know? Like people talk about that a lot, I feel like. But what about you, Carter?
I mean, my gear has. I've gotten a bit more of a collection since joining the band. I got a Fender, like I got a Tone Master Twin Reverb amp, which I love. And I bought the only two pedals I use actually are previously owned by Sam. I bought them from him.
Oh yeah,
I
Those
love
good
them.
pedals.
I know he wants me to get a full pedal board. I'll get there.
yeah.
But like,
You need one.
I hate to go with the obvious answer, but like the truth is, there's no show without that red guitar, New Red.
Yeah.
I've
New
had
Red.
that since I was for the last 9 years. I've had that. My uncle made it. Shout out PVX Guitars.
Your
He-
uncle made it?
He made it at
Oh,
his
that's
house. He lives in Charlotte, and I remember he made it and showed it to me when I was at his house, and then he just like surprised me with. He said, "That's yours. Like you can take it home."
Dang.
And it's my favorite guitar ever. That's like I can't not say that.
Yeah. That's awesome.
That is really cool. How long have each of y'all been playing your instruments? I know you play more than one.
Yeah, I've since high school branched out into the melodic instruments, but I've been playing drums since I was 9 or 10. I think for my 10th birthday, my dad got me a drum kit, and I was like, "What am I gonna do with this? I don't know how to play the drums." Like, but yeah, I banged on them for a while, and eventually I started making noises that sounded okay, and
Nice.
now I'm in a band. So.
Yeah.
I grew up playing like piano and guitar very off and on, but I didn't actually pick up a bass until I met these guys in fall of 2021.
Nice.
Nice.
Man, that's kind of crazy because like,
That is
that's
crazy.
recent, and you're like a
Yeah.
great bass player. So like,
You
that's
really are.
very
You
impressive.
have come a
appreciate it.
long way.
He's-
Yeah.
That's
You
a
used to suck.
shockingly. That is like a shockingly short period of time to be as good as Neil has gotten. Like,
No kidding.
Thanks, man.
There was a jam not too long ago where you played bass and sang, and I was
Oh,
like,
yeah, that was
man,
fun.
that is a really cool thing to see from, especially
Yeah.
knowing when you started. And then,
Yeah.
I don't know, that's not an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
So,
For sure.
I'm
speaking
still
from
waiting.
experience.
I'm still waiting on the Neil and the Goldbergs debut album.
It's coming.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
In 2032.
2032.
23. All right.
Can I hold you to
Nice.
April 13th, I think.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Wait, this
I
this
didn't
actually
actually-
goes really
Mark
far out.
calendars.
They
Yeah.
just
You should-
confirmed. They
April-
just confirmed April 13th.
Yeah, they just
Yeah.
confirmed. They just okay. We're
The
good.
label
April
just
13th.
confirmed.
Yeah, it's a done deal.
Yeah.
Wow.
I have been playing guitar since I want to say 2017. It was my junior year of high school. So has that been 5 years? Yeah. Or no, 2018? I don't know. 5 years. It's coming up on 5 years. But I'd played piano since I was 8 years old, and then when I was 16, I picked up guitar for the first time.
Nice. That's like, I feel like that's kind of perfect because like when you're young, you start out on piano, like piano's easy. Cause you just hit a button.
Whoa.
Hey, no.
Crazy.
I'm mostly joking, but you just hit a button and it makes
Wild
sound.
take.
You know what I'm saying? Like you
The
just
learning curve
it's
is
very
smaller.
visual.
No, that is true because like
Yeah.
on a guitar you gotta learn how to fret it and if
Exactly.
if you-
Yeah.
if you-
I'd argue that Guitar Hero was pretty hard. You gotta press the buttons on there.
Yeah. There are buttons, but even you gotta hit the button, then you also.
Oh,
hit
you
the-
gotta.
I don't know.
flip the
There's
thing.
probably
You
some
gotta time
technical
it
word for
right.
that, like strike.
Did you bring the
Switch.
Guitar Hero for this, or?
No, we
Okay.
cut that segment out for time.
We actually brought our own.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. We'll see if we have time for that.
Carter, how long have you been playing guitar?
I've been playing guitar since I was 14, so I think 8 or 9 years. But I grew up a violin kid. I started playing when I was in like third grade, and I did everything. Like I was in like 4 different orchestras. I had like a teacher and everything. And then I did that till I graduated high school. Picked up the guitar when I was a freshman in high school, and I never looked back. I would be terrible if I picked up a violin right now. I wouldn't know what to do.
Oh, really, dude? I was gonna say you gotta start bringing that
They
to
want me
gigs.
to be like
Yeah.
a fiddle.
Come
Like
on.
they want me to.
Yeah,
like,
dude.
I'm telling you, it would sound so.
Yeah,
awful.
it would sound
Just
bad.
practice
what
for
if-
like a few weeks.
What
and
if
I'm
you
sure
tune
it'll
it
come back.
like a guitar?
I will say I can read music.
I'm serious. You can tune an
It's only
instrument
got-
however you
it's
want.
only got 4 strings though.
It's just a bass backwards.
Yeah, tune it like a bass.
It's a bass
Yeah.
backwards right now, but like it's still the lowest string is like closest to you,
I think
right?
it's G D A E.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, G is
So,
your lowest string.
it is
E
a-
your-
fits.
yeah.
I also think that if you just put like a couple weeks into it, you would be back to.
yeah. He
I
Back
could
to
maybe-
where you
I want to hear it. Dude.
It's like it's in your muscle memory somewhere.
Yeah, maybe. I have
Probably.
no
Then we
idea.
could play Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Oh man,
That'd be
that would
so
So
cool.
awesome.
That would be a lot.
You gotta get like an electric violin and then still run it through the guitar range to
Yeah.
like, use distortion and chorus and
Yeah.
play and stuff. That'd
That would be
be
cool.
nuts.
My sister has. She's like a professional violinist now,
Oh wow.
Wow.
and she's got like all the like. She's got an electric violin, I think. She could do Devil Went Down to Georgia for us if we.
That's cool.
played
That'd
in
be cool.
We played in
That-
Charleston.
That would be pretty
That'd be
dope.
sick, like sit in at a gig. Like
Yeah.
that
That
would
would be so great.
She would love to do it. I bet she would do that
Yeah.
if we got a Charleston show.
Oh, man. Dude, I didn't know you were an orchestra kid. That's so cool.
Orc dork for like. And
Yeah.
I took it pretty seriously. I put up like a stink because I had to practice every day at my house for like 45 minutes or something, and I always complained about it. But really, I think like looking back on it, that was what put like the music kind of aptitude in place for me. So
Yeah.
I'm glad I did it, even though I kind of hated it at the time, just because it was such a time commitment.
It is a big commitment. Did you do like
Were you
region?
did you do
Oh
orchestra
yeah.
stuff? What'd you play?
I played bass.
Oh hell
And
yeah!
Did you do like
Big bass,
region
big
or
bass?
yeah, upright
Nice,
bass?
nice.
I tried out
Oh,
for
one of those so
like
bad.
the sectionals or like junior districts.
Mm-hmm.
I tried out I think twice and I got rejected both times.
Man.
And one of those times I tried really hard.
Ah.
It's
That's
alright.
all
Dude.
right. I'm over it now.
No, it doesn't sound
like.
Bring it up right now. Like
But hey.
I wish you didn't bring it up because like why would you bring that up? But like
At least you're.
I didn't know this was a sensitive topic.
At least you're in an almost semi-successful blues band.
Great point.
I did.
I like the guitar more anyways.
Yeah. I did all state once, and the second time I was like, I actually don't want to
It
do
must
it.
be scary. I mean, I never made it that far.
It is scary, and the first time was okay, and the second time it was like a really long jazz piece that went in between 3/4 and 5/4, and I looked at my mom and I was like, I don't want to do this. Actually, it
Was it
was
like-
cool. I did it once,
Were
and
the
that's it.
were the conductors real like Terrence Fletcher type, like whiplash stuff?
Honestly, no. The conductors were always really cool.
Throwing
Like they were
chairs.
always, except for one time. We had a conductor once ask us. We did, I think, the theme from Ice Castles for one of our, and I've never seen that. I really don't have much reference for what that is. But instead of playing the piece, our conductor made us sing it, which was my least favorite experience from orchestra ever. So I don't really know why he made
But
us
you're
do
such
that.
a vocalist.
Yeah, I
now.
was gonna say.
Yeah.
You know, I've always been a vocalist. That's a different thing. That's a
Man. So for each of y'all, and I imagine there will be a lot of overlap here, what would be the moment where you were like, we have made it as a band? Like, what would be the show? What would be the festival? What would be the stage?
We could probably do it on 3. 1, 2, 3. Coin.
Coin.
Yeah, we played.
that was the moment.
Yeah.
okay.
Wait, are you asking what like
I
in
was
the
g-
future?
in the future,
what would
yeah.
be? Oh,
Yeah.
Oh.
Like,
Oh,
unless
yeah,
you've
okay.
I
already-
was gonna say we've not made it yet.
I mean like
That was like our big. That was
That
our
was
big
it.
That's
break
our biggest
so
thing
far.
so
I would
far,
say.
yeah.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
But I also would say I thought something that was really cool when we first sat down before Carter had joined the band, like freshman year when I sat us down. I was like, what are y'all's goals with this band? Like, what do we want to accomplish? I don't remember what everybody said, Oh, I remember Logan said he wanted to play a gig that was hype enough that he could take his shirt off.
Yeah, that's
we did that one time.
We did, yeah.
Where do you do that?
I think Breakers.
Breakers.
That's
Yeah, totally Breakers.
That's our place to do it.
But what my goal was just like to be like well known on campus, like release music and like to be able to say like, oh, I'm in a band, and people are like, oh, what band? And I'm on the third floor, and they're like, oh, I've heard of that. Like, I know one of your songs.
Honestly,
like,
I feel like we're getting chips of that.
Yeah,
totally.
People sort of know us.
I've
now.
told a couple people that like just talking like, yeah, I'm in the third floor, and they're like, oh my gosh, I know one of you guys' songs, and I'm like, dude, that's awesome. And that the what was it? Gamecock Entertainment gave us the best
we got
local
band
musician.
band of the year.
You gotta tell them your story from the food line.
Oh yeah, I was at Food Line the other day, and I left, and somebody runs out into the parking lot, and they're like, hey, and didn't know. I'm like, did I forget to pay or something? And I turn around, and it was this girl who was like, I just want to say, like, I really like your music, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, it made my week.
Awesome.
It was awesome.
That's so cool.
But remember earlier when Ryan did that countdown and nobody joined in?
Oh my God! You're gonna bring it up.
Yeah. It was pretty bad. It was pretty bad.
Cut it. Sam?
We don't have any control over that, so
Don't cut it.
you can't ask us for anything. Jason?
Jamie, pull that up.
We're going to take a super fast break. We'll be right back. Thank you.
All right, guys, before we get back into the podcast, I just wanted to say a quick word from our sponsor. Our sponsor today is the one and only Chris Reed, a captivating singer-songwriter and with a voice that resonates and lyrics that speak to the soul. Picture this: black hair and stylish. Chris Reed is not just any musician. He's a maestro of melodies and a virtuoso of verse. And with his signature ties adding flair to every performance, Chris Reed brings a unique blend of passion and authenticity to the stage. So thank you for sponsoring the Patreon, Chris Reed. And now back into the episode.
Take us away.
Also, Todd Baker is a patron. Thanks for...
thanks, Todd.
Thanks, Todd. Good guy.
Shout
If
out
you want to
Todd.
support the podcast, you actually can do so very easily. Check out our Patreon. It's $7 a month. That's like less than a cup of coffee, depending on what kind of cup of coffee you like. It really helps us a lot. Goes a long way. Anyways, thank you, Chris and Todd. That was not planned. I had no idea I was going to say that. Okay. Well, we're back with the Third Floor Band.
I feel like that's more than what we promised our
Just the
Patreon
third.
subscribers.
Significant. You don't get that. You do get a mention somewhere in the podcast, but you don't get that.
You will not have Ryan reading off your information
You could if
every
you want.
time.
If you pay me $7 a month, I'll do it.
Did you type that up, or is that just like his bio?
That's ChatGPT for you.
Oh, really?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Virtuoso of verse, I mean, that's pretty good.
That's pretty
my
awesome.
God.
All right. It's time to get serious.
All right.
What are some benefits, but also some challenges to co-owning y'all's musical project together, equal ways?
Benefits are Carter and his creature.
Ooh, yes.
The challenges are Ryan's little necklace harmonica right there.
Thank you, Neil.
He abuses the necklace.
I don't know. I mean,
And his
James?
Carter's creature.
His,
Can we dive into that?
Is,
It's better we don't talk about it.
Yeah.
I have a creature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to bring it up. I'm
He
sorry.
lurks. He does a lot of lurking.
he lurks.
He does a lot of skedaddling.
Jake's is actually quite orb friendly. You
Jake's
are
is,
allowed to bring
Jake's
your...
is creature friendly. Most
Yes.
bars are not creature friendly. It's a whole thing.
Are you aware of if this place is orb friendly?
I don't know what that
I
means.
feel like
If we were to bring an orb,
Sam, you're tweaking. You got lock in.
we,
this got out of hand.
like short circuiting my brain right now. We're not going to cut any of that.
The question was, what are challenges of
And-
co-owning
And benefits.
and
and
benefits,
benefits?
not just negatives. We need
Well,
positives
I
too.
don't know. I don't
I would
know
love to talk to-
negatives come
We've
to
never had any like huge decisions to make, but if we had a huge decision to make, it would be good that we're all like equal partners.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
but like, I don't know. I don't feel like there's much challenges to it either. Or at least not that
Sure.
We've gotten in disagreements, but we
Yeah.
just talk it out and figure it out.
Sometimes Neil gets a little moody at gigs. And
We call each other
course.
mean things.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's a good. It's a good, healthy way to handle disagreement.
Yeah.
for
Call
sure.
each
Sam and I
other
do that all the
names.
time.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys get it too. Like you play probably more than we do. Like,
You play-
do you guys
yeah.
ever show up to a gig and it's either on or you guys feel a little bit off?
Oh, sure.
Like you have
Yeah.
those kinds of days.
Definitely.
Yeah.
But I mean, these are some of my like closest friends. Like, I don't know. We don't really like.
Actually,
I'm glad you think that.
They're your closest friends, but you're not their closest.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you think that.
you are there. Yeah.
No,
That
you
makes-
are
that makes
there
a lot
a
of sense,
lot.
Carter.
If that makes you feel better.
I was gonna say the same thing though, because like at the end of the day, we're just boys.
Yeah.
Like we're just
Buddies.
friends
Sure.
hanging out. You
Yeah.
know, playing music together.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And it's
Yeah.
definitely, it's so much more fun when you have like a band or bandmates to like do gigs with, you know, and like just have other people like, do music
Yeah.
with for sure.
It is nice, like having like a friendship dynamic rather than like. I mean, it would probably be so hard to be in a musical group that like your significant other is in. I couldn't even.
Yeah, that'd be
God.
really tough.
That's
Yeah. But
Could not
at least
imagine.
we don't know anybody like that.
No,
Yeah.
me neither.
Couldn't be
That's
me.
really funny. Man, well, that makes a lot of sense. What are some what are some pieces of advice you guys could give to like younger bands that are just forming, or even people that just want to be in a successful band? Like what kind
have
of
fun.
advice?
Just
have fun.
give up.
That's
Just
good
give
advice.
up. It's not worth it.
I've consistently told people. I've consistently I've held to the idea that if you love what you're doing, whatever it is, like for me it's doing guitar stuff, but like if you love what you're doing, you're gonna just get good at it by nature of like you do it a lot, and you are gonna kind of just naturally seek out people who like to do a similar thing. So if your goal is to be in like a band, then I think your priority should just be to like play music in whatever form that takes. These guys just kind of found, like, it was very random. Like, they just messaged me one day. I happened to be kind of at a place in my playing where I felt like I was ready to get pretty serious with a band. So, I don't know, if you want to join a band, if you want to play music, just play music until you kind of stumble into something. I don't think it has to be super, like, I don't think it has to be a whole thing.
Well, you were really calculated. We decided we were going to steal you from room 12
Yeah.
like
by
8
name.
months before you
Yeah.
came into the band.
Wow.
There was a moment like that. It was like 8 months before we were watching him play with Room 12. And we're like, yeah, how funny would it be if we poached Carter
Yeah.
from that band?
It's hilarious.
But-
you can be in multiple bands.
I
Not
think-
well.
not
You
with
can do
us.
it.
Yeah.
I guess you
This
do it.
guy.
This guy's in like
Yeah,
6 bands.
Yeah.
no, I'm in 2 at this point, but
Two's a good number.
yeah, two's a good number. Two's a
Especially
great
because you
number.
guys like it's a lot of it like there's shows where it's both bands.
Yeah, that's always a lot of fun.
Actually, I have to only set up drum kit once for 2
Yeah.
gigs.
Oh,
Like, how many other
oh,
times
yeah.
you get a chance to do that?
Dude, at New Brooklyn, when you got to leave it overnight because you were
Oh,
opening
yeah.
the next day after
Yeah, we
headlining
were-
the day before.
Yeah,
that's
that
very
was
cool.
great.
was a
I'm
win.
sure Carlin liked that too. Only having a mic and drum set.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he just left everything set up.
Yeah.
But I would say to the people who are interested in starting a band, I mean, obviously you have to have more than one person to start a band. So,
course.
find musicians. But, if they're not as, like, diehard about it as you, and we got lucky. We were all on the same page. Like, we all wanted to start a band.
Sure.
So we were all working towards that. But I think a lot of people probably know a lot of musicians that, might be interested in live performing, performing live, but they're, not so diehard about it. And I think, if you're in that situation and you know the musicians, like, it's important to have someone, if not a whole group, structuring rehearsals and someone doing booking and like making sure that like things are actually getting done. Because if there aren't rehearsals and there aren't things being put together, especially at the beginning of a band, then it will never turn into anything. Like,
Make a shared Google Calendar.
yeah, shared Google
That,
Calendar.
that changed.
Yeah.
That changed everything.
move.
It's a
Yeah.
lifesaver.
It's a very good
If
move.
it-
For
if-
sure.
If the date is open, then the date is open. If you
Yeah.
can't do something, then mark it off. And we've lived and died by that.
Definitely.
Kind of.
Actually, not really at all.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
constantly change.
We've
It's all
lived and
pretty
died by it
nebulous.
until something comes
Yeah.
up. Until there's an issue.
And then we're like, oh, I guess.
So y'all do private Greek life events. You play just standard 3-hour cover bar gigs. Obviously cover with some original stuff thrown in there.
Sprinkle.
And you also play like 45-minute, hour-long like original show sets. What are some differences in how y'all treat each of those gigs?
Oh, that's a great question. Our overall vibe is very different between playing for like a brewery or like a Jake's gig versus playing our own original music. I mean, we'll kind of keep it let's use Columbia Craft for an example. They've been incredibly helpful with our
Love Maz.
musical journey. Yeah, Maz, shout out.
Maz.
You should get Maz on here.
Yeah,
That's a great idea.
Yeah.
I had not
It
thought about
really
that.
is.
That's a great idea.
But yeah, that would be cool. But we kind of strip it back a little bit for Columbia Craft because it's a very low energy environment. People want to just hear music in the background.
Sure.
So we'll just kind of lay back and play chiller music and still have a good time, but then when there are people there to see us and actually paying money to see us, then we're going to give them a show that they can be entertained by versus just passively entertained.
Which is playing Freebird 5 times.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but we never play Freebird unless they earn it.
Yeah.
They didn't earn it on
They
Saturday.
totally
earn
didn't earn it
that
on
one.
But they did earn it by the time we finished playing
Yes.
Freebird. They were so into it, but before it, the energy was a little low.
Freebird is so fun to play, but it is such a physical task that I don't want to play it unless people really are like
That's
they
true.
want it.
Because it's also if you play Freebird and you don't have the people there going crazy for it,
It's just
come
like,
on.
oh, look at this band playing Freebird.
They're just- yeah,
Nobody's
it's just
even into it.
Yeah.
I
They're like,
just
what?
can't
They're
believe
like,
you'll
what
actually
the-
play Freebird.
Yeah.
That's a real surprise. I'm just
It's
kidding.
a choice.
It is really fun.
I was gonna say,
Sam's like, what the hell?
I was gonna say, I think we've gotten better over time at kind of playing to our audiences
Sure.
at all those
Definitely.
different events. There's been a lot of we've played some sorority philanthropy events.
Philanthropy.
Whatever. I shouldn't have said the word. All right, I regret it.
Charity.
All right, charity events. Yes.
Yeah.
Philanthropic.
And they've got their own itinerary, right? They've got announcements they want to make and other things that they're doing, like events, and we're just kind of playing on the side, and there's a couple people who might be into it, but most people are just passively listening.
Sure.
And that we've gotten better at that kind of thing versus shows where we're playing New Brooklyn, and it's it's a venue. The point is the live music. People
Sure.
come to see us,
Yeah.
and that kind of thing. We'll play all of our originals, and we'll go all out. And a lot of times, if people aren't into it, or we're at an event and we're playing and we're getting the vibe that it's kind of just they just want us to be the music that's going on in the background. We're not gonna try and steal the show. We're just gonna.
Sure.
Play our covers and play our originals and
Yeah.
Definitely.
hold back a little bit, but
Yeah.
It's also definitely easier to feed off of the crowd. It's harder to want to jump around and go crazy if it's just people sitting down.
That is true.
Drinking
Yeah.
and having dinner. But
Sure.
if there's a bunch of people up front singing along, then that makes you want to.
Yeah, get into it more.
Yeah.
For
Yeah.
sure. So y'all are probably one of the busiest bands in Columbia right now. What advice?
We
can you
played
give-
twice this month.
Really?
Yeah,
It seems like y'all are
February's
always playing.
February's pretty dead.
Well, let's just
January
take
and February
February
are always,
Yeah.
yeah.
We're in the off season.
Yeah.
Same practice day with Bat Band this week.
Oh yeah, I'm
Batman.
excited to play with Batman.
We gotta get
Oh my
PC on the podcast.
gosh.
There's some other bands too, but
Yeah,
especially,
but
we're
Batman-
especially
Prettier Than
excited for
Matt.
Batman.
Prettier Than Matt's gonna be
I mean,
there.
the Batman's fantastic. So
I haven't seen
I've
them.
never seen him.
I didn't even know about
I didn't
them,
know they
and I
existed,
am
but I'm-
ecstatic.
Just imagine a guy in a Batman costume playing a bunch of Nirvana covers, and that's the
I know.
Batman.
Yeah.
I'm
But
like,
it's a great time.
I
love it.
actually
Yeah.
couldn't think
It's
of
very
a
fun.
better
Like,
idea.
wow.
You had me at
Yeah.
guy in a Batman costume.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got me a
Sure.
guy. Am I right?
Swing
Alrighty.
and a miss.
Well, anything you guys would like to promote to the audience before
Oh,
we
yes.
kind of start closing things down?
This episode is brought to you by Space, the all-in-one platform.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Shut up.
That
We're not giving
empowers
free
you
ads.
to create your own
No, we're not.
stunning
No,
website
that's
or
enough.
online
That's
store
enough.
needs.
It's not sponsored by
Whether
Space.
it's a budding entrepreneur,
no,
a passionate blogger, or a creative artist, Space
Nope.
has everything you need to showcase your work to the world.
this is not
That's
true.
Squarespace.com. Offer code 3rd floor for 10% off.
I cannot.
Build your online presence with the future of website creation is here.
Oh my
I cannot
legal
believe you
reasons,
just did
that is a
free
joke.
advertising for
Reasons that is a joke.
Oh my
Don't sue
gosh.
us. We actually use.
Why would they
Squarespace.
sue us? We're giving them advertising.
They could. They could sue us. Anyone could sue us.
We
There's
could
no
bleep out
discount.
Space.
You could do that.
We're not going to do that. No, it's time for that. We're just going to say it was that fits in
Sponsors
the,
by bleep would be even better.
that fits in the
Just gonna
parody law.
censor out every time you said it.
Sam, did you not have a question that you were about to ask us something, and then something went off the rails? I
He
thought.
asked if we wanted to promote
Oh, yeah, I
anything.
think
and-
it
No, there
That's
was a
a
question
question
before that
Squarespace.
one that I thought you started.
Oh yeah, what are some inspirations for y'all's music?
Oh.
Yeah. Some bands.
Let's do it down the line.
Oh man, don't start with me.
Start with Carter then.
Yeah, start with Carter. Carter's inspirations. John Mayer.
True.
Yeah.
It's kind of an impossible question because like
It's not.
I don't. I
kind of like to think of it as like a cosmic gumbo of all the artists.
like the players that inspire my playing. I mean, I can't not say Mayer. Like John Mayer's been a huge,
Of course.
like that was a big kind of discovery for me. Like his music was huge for my playing. But I don't know. Lately, I just kind of like I try to listen to everything. I listen to like a lot of indie stuff. I listen to a lot of old blues and old jazz, and I really like Derek Trucks. He was kind of why I started playing more slide.
Sure.
But I don't know. I mean, I like it's kind of a non-answer, but like everything. Like I try to draw a little bit of inspiration from as much music as I can. But I would say, if I had to give one answer, like John Mayer is probably
Sure.
the biggest inspiration for
Great
my
guitarist.
guitar playing.
Yeah, definitely. What do you think?
It's changed drastically since I first started playing guitar, but I first started playing guitar learning Ed Sheeran covers, 4-chord strumming, and I still stand by Ed Sheeran. He's the man.
He's a great artist.
But it's ever since I discovered Noah Khan, who's really big in pop culture right now. But I was like, first song he put out, I was
Sure,
listening.
man.
He was day
I was
one.
like, I was day one.
No.
I actually
Seriously,
used to.
We can vouch for him.
I got DMs with him. I used to like talk to that man.
Oh, wow, that's cool.
But then he got too cool for me.
He invited us to a $25 concert in Charleston to see No Con before his album came out.
Yeah, and they're like,
Oh,
no,
like
I don't know who the.
Yeah.
Dang.
But
Pretty impressive.
Noah's been like genuinely my biggest musical inspiration, and of course Mayer. So it would probably be Noah Khan, John Mayer, and Lil Pump.
Wait, what was the
You
third
tried
one?
to sneak John Mayer in there.
Like we wouldn't notice.
But yeah,
Nice. What about you, Neil?
I think the Beatles have been my biggest inspiration.
Oh, yeah.
Love Paul McCartney.
Great bassist.
All the guys.
One of the
Wings?
best of all time.
Yeah, Paul McCartney from Wings is probably my biggest inspiration. Johnny Cash I've been listening to more recently. And my spirit animal is probably Smith from Travel Therapy.
Oh,
yeah.
my God, they're playing right now, and I'm really
Oh, they're playing tonight?
dreading,
Yeah, man.
or dreading being
Love Smith.
here because of it.
Love my good guys. Yeah, that's fair for sure. What about
love-
you, Nick?
I don't know. I for the last couple of years, I haven't been playing much drums outside of performing. I usually spend my time playing guitar, and one of my recent influences on guitar has been Guthrie Govan.
Yeah,
Oh, he's
Shredder.
so good.
Is
He's
incredible,
Shredder.
dude.
Definitely.
He's awesome. But I don't know. As far as drums, I don't have any like drummers that like I really love. I mean, I guess it's pretty cliche, but like Taylor Hawkins and
Sure. Yeah.
John Bonham and
Oh, yeah.
I really love Nick Mason from Pink Floyd.
Oh,
he's,
yeah.
he's tons of like
Absolutely.
slow tom fills. Like I really take my fills come from that a lot. I think.
Sure.
But
Yeah.
yeah.
Somebody pointed out recently that like all the bands that have done well pretty much ever have just universally like awesome drummers. That's pretty much the one like sometimes singers, guitar players, bassists, whatever, like it can vary. Like if they're just like one of the legends,
You can't have a bad drummer.
you can't have a bad drummer.
Yeah.
Seriously, it's kind of interesting. I'm not gonna say. No, I'm not gonna say that. That's way too controversial. I'm gonna hold my tongue there.
I don't
Come
even know where
on,
that was
we
I was
going.
gonna
got
reference
it.
Metallica. If you know Metallica, you know what I'm
Okay.
talking about.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not gonna go there. I'm not gonna say that very controversial thing. So, like I said earlier, what do y'all have to promote?
Squarespace.
Not Squarespace.
Next Wednesday. Oh wait, this isn't coming out.
This comes out in 2
Last
weeks.
Wednesday, we played at Jake's. It was really fun.
No. We played on a Saturday. We got a Wednesday show coming up, February 28th.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I don't know if.
No.
No,
This
it's
is coming
there's publishing
out. This is
late,
coming
yeah.
out in 2 weeks.
Oh, okay. So,
You guys missed it. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Shoot. Shucks.
We
We
got
got.
any big stuff down the line.
We'll probably be playing somewhere. But
Oh, Tin Roof. Oh, last 2 Saturdays ago.
Yeah.
Tin Roof.
You could just say like your Instagram.
Oh yeah. It's at.
Oh,
It's oh yeah.
March 9th, the Cotton Town Art Crawl.
Oh, Cotton Town Art
We
Crawl.
are.
Will this be out
I know
before
this
that?
This
sounds
will
Yeah.
be like that Saturday. This Saturday.
Cottontown Art
This
Crawl.
Saturday,
And
yeah.
shout out to Nick Holman for running sound for that, and shout out to Sam for getting
Love
us
Nick
that
Holman.
that
Oh, yeah.
gig.
Good times.
But yeah, our Instagram is at, and then the third floor band.
That'll be really effective for the auto captions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, great work on that one.
Yep.
Uh,
We always like to ask at the end.
Well,
Someone's
that's
about to
the
cut me
question.
off.
We got Spotify and all that. Yeah, no, it's cool.
I mean, you had the opportunity to tell us, so
Third floor band on
You
Spotify.
chose to, you chose to riff on
You had
Squarespace.
every opportunity.
Yeah, you typed up a speech about Squarespace.
we always like to ask though about y'all's like favorite local spots. So where do y'all like to go to get a cup of coffee? Go out for a drink? Go out for dinner? That kind of stuff. We'll just go down the line.
Man, I don't go out much.
It's a shame.
I go to New Brooklyn for live shows and for the jam nights sometimes, and I go to Food Line. I get my groceries there.
Sick.
You can't say
the grocery store. Are you out of your mind?
Guys, I
Shout
don't.
out Food Line.
I don't go out that much. I've been to CJ's once with these guys, but they're going to tell you about CJ's and why.
I'll leave it to them.
I can't
Yeah.
believe he said food line.
Dude, I
Where's your favorite spot in town?
I don't go out places that often.
Like CBS is a big one.
Yeah,
I
I
got-
don't have any big spots.
I got
moving on.
shout out.
Pass. Sorry.
I got to shout out Groucho's. Always love Groucho's.
Oh, true.
Best microwave
Go
sandwich
get
in town.
Groucho's. Amen.
I was really biting. I actually like Groucho's. I don't know why I
Groucho's.
said that.
Wait,
Yeah.
did they actually? Might
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, go ahead and
Yeah.
just spill the secret.
No, but that's okay. But Groucho's is incredibly
Yeah.
good, especially.
No, I love
am
Groucho's. I
Very
don't know- I
surprised.
should have
to
said
hear
that.
There's
I
also
actually love
toasters
Groucho's.
there.
There's what?
They do toast things occasionally.
Yeah. Yep.
Sometimes.
I go to Drip Coffee like
Love Drip
twice
Coffee.
a year.
All right, Ryan, what you got?
Central John. CJ's. Get a zoom in on here, Jamie.
His name is Jason.
That's CJ's. That's the dog that's always there. And we
dog.
play pool there a lot. We play a lot of pool there.
Good times.
Yeah, it's that's the spot. That is the spot.
Wow.
And I already mentioned Columbia Craft, so don't need to do that. There's also
There's got to be another.
I like Cool Beans. I go to Cool Beans Coffee a lot.
Cool Beans is a good one.
And
Our
yeah,
house-
also probably the grocery store.
Our house is
Yeah, dude.
Our house is a pretty fun.
Oh,
spot.
we
I
hang
like
out at
it.
our house a lot. Yeah.
It's a good place. We got
So
like
if you guys ever want to come
we got-
hang out, our address is 1016
we got a front porch and some chairs.
Dartboard outside. It's kind of innovative.
You're giving away
And
too much,
Ryan's license plate is actually
Carter, what you got?
wow.
Central John.
Yeah, I mean, I do really like going to CJ's. It's like a great. We do love to play pool there. It's kind of like, we kind of have like low key made it like our spot for the last maybe month.
Yeah, we've
We
been going there a
we
month.
go there pretty regularly.
Going there.
It's just a cool little kind of like pool bar. Like go there to watch a basketball game or something, play some pool. I don't really know. I don't go to a lot of I guess. So
We go out again. Oh, Jake's. We
I
forgot
mean,
about
Jake's
Jake's.
is-
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Jake's is great.
Yeah.
Kava.
Oh,
Shout out
Kava's
Kava.
good. Yeah.
There's a Poke Bros right by there too.
The Russell House is nice.
The Russell House. Big fan
Um,
of the Russell House.
We'll go to Kaminsky. Oh, Moa, my guy Hunter at Moa. Just want to shout him out. He's one of the best cocktail makers in the world. We can find his Instagram.
All right, I'm gonna cut it off. I'm gonna cut it off there.
Thank you guys so
Probably
much
great
for
recommendation.
listening.
Yeah, I had like a whole list of things. I was
This has been the Jam Room Podcast. My name's Sam.
My name is Illia.
We appreciate you for listening. Find us on Instagram at SamandILLIA. We do Open Jam Monday night, New Brooklyn Tavern. We play private events. We play weddings, all kinds of stuff. If you need some music and some bars around town, we play all kinds of all over the place. This has been the Third Floor Band. Thank you to Jason behind the camera. It's JB Creative Studio. Is it at JB Creative Studio?
At JB Creative Studio.
Creative Studio. Check him out for great digital graphic design, and I guess all the graphic design is digital graphic design pretty much. But also live sound, lighting, video, all that kind of stuff. He's amazing at all of it. Just look at this video. Thank you to Zach behind the console in the control room. Our producer for this podcast. Come to the Jam Room. They got all kinds of cool vintage equipment like this. All these crazy amps behind me right here. Awesome producers here, awesome people. They will make your record sound amazing. They also have the only dedicated mastering studio in Columbia, South Carolina. So they can do all kinds of remote mastering work for you if you want. Thank you to our patrons, Chris Reed, Todd Baker. Join that for $7 a month if you're interested in supporting the podcast. It's very inexpensive. What did I miss, Illia?
Over the course of the year, man.
I think you got it all.
You got it all.
That sounds like it.
Thanks for listening. Catch y'all next time.